I'm going to show you how to fix this controller board from a Kenmore range, which is currently experiencing an issue with the oven not working properly. The customer stated the broiler, the clean feature, some of the other features are working just fine. However, the oven feature is not working. So let's take a closer look at the controller board and see what's going on. If you're not sure how to remove your controller board, I will have a video about that in the description down below, as well as at the end of this video. All right, I'm going to be taking a look at the back of the controller board and more specifically at the relay that is in charge of the baking elements. If we look at this section of the board, we have 4 relays. And we can actually clearly see that it is labeled. This one over here says bake. We have broil, and then just a few other options here. But the one we want to focus on is the bake. So it's going to be this connector over here, which most likely connects to this top white relay. So I'm going to remove the board here. We'll take a look at the back, and these are the legs of our relay. These are the legs of our relay here as well, and everything looks pretty good to me. This is our actual connector pin, and this is the connector pin I'm talking about, labeled Bake P2. Now looking at it, I do see like maybe there's a little bit of a crack here, but that's not enough to make me think that that's the issue, since there's 2 connectors and this one's just fine. So I don't think that's going to be our problem. Let's just take a quick look at some of the other relays just in case. Those look fine. Take a look here. So this actually looks like it's been worked on before. Let's take a closer look at this. So actually it looks like this was reflowed a long time ago, and I can see what looks like to be a crack over here. Maybe a crack, yeah, down here there's a little bit of a ring. Looking at it at an angle, I can kind of see a crack or a ring forming over here. So this could be an issue. We're definitely going to want to touch that up. But looking at everything else looks okay here. Now I also typically want to look at my connector pins down here. So let's look at those joints and see if there's anything obvious. So this first one over here, I am seeing a ring around it, which means that's an indicator that this pin is starting to get a crack. However, it looks to be a no connect, so this should not be our any cause of a problem. And the other ones also look okay. This one looks like it could have the beginning of a ring, but over here it looks okay, so that means that most likely that's not any sort of problem either. Yeah, most of these are starting to get cracks around some of those joints, but they're not, but the ring does not complete. So like over here, for example, there's good connection. So this will definitely be something we need to touch up, but I don't think it's the cause of our problem. Since I'm not finding anything obvious under the microscope, what I'm thinking is that this relay is actually malfunctioning, some sort of internal failure. So we're going to remove it out of the controller board and just test it out of circuit. I'm going to be using my FR301 desolder pump. If you're interested in buying one of these, I'll have links in the description down below to affiliate links where you can go ahead and purchase the exact same one. It looks like I forgot to turn on my microscope camera, so we're going to do it again on a different circuit board that has already been reflowed. But just so you can see the FR301 in action. Now, something I want to mention is right now I am desoldering a joint that has fresh solder on it. Often when you have the original old solder from the circuit board, it will be a little bit harder to desolder. So one thing you can do is add flux, although I don't recommend adding flux because it will clog up this desolder pump. So something else you can do instead is just add more fresh solder. And that is what I did on the original circuit board that I unfortunately forgot to film. It looks like this one, the pin is bent. Let's try to... Okay, there we go. And we have 2 more pins over here. And this pin is also bent. Let's see, can we wiggle out our relay? I'm getting a little resistance. There we go. Okay, and there is our relay. Okay, I have a little bit of a system going on here. So looking from a top view, we have a power supply over here. I'm injecting 9 volts or 12 volts DC because this is a 12 volt relay. And we're injecting the power from this side, and these 2 pins. Now I have my multimeter set to beep mode, so when I get a short, I get a beep. And we're connecting the last row with the second to last row. Now I don't get a beep, so we don't have a connection. Let's power on the power supply. And now we get a beep, and it's detecting about 3.8, 2.9, and so on, going down. When I turn it off, of course, the resistance is open because the relay is not open. We're going to shift this down one row. And when I turn on the power supply, the beeping stops. And it comes back. We get a short when the power supply is turned off. Okay, so this relay here is working properly. Now we're going to do the same with this other relay, which is our suspect relay. So we're going to connect the first row with the second row, and we should get a beep. Up until the moment we power on the power supply, beep goes away, relay activates. Now we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to do it with the middle row to the last row. All right. And we get no beep. So that's a problem. So that means this relay is defective and does need to be replaced. So that is the source of the issue and why our oven was not heating up. We'll go ahead and feed our replacement relay in. And it's not locked in, so let me just be careful. Okay, we're just gonna solder some of those pins back in now. All right, we're gonna do the other side to lock it in. Perfect. All right, beautiful. Now that was the only issue. However, we had found what looked to be the beginnings of cracked solder joints on several of the other pins, and that is a common fault we see with a lot of oven control boards. So what we're going to do next is, even though we technically have already a successful repair, we're going to go ahead and reflow all of those other pins. So on all of our repairs, we always provide a 1-year warranty, and because of that, I always want to make sure that there's no reason for an oven control board to come back, whether it be because our repair is not lasting or there's another fault that is occurring that we may have not repaired the first time. I just want to not leave anything to chance, make sure that everything is done right the first time, because it's always a huge pain to have to reopen up the oven, remove the controller board, have it shipped out a second time. So we just want to make sure we always get everything taken care of the first time. So if you're doing this repair yourself at home and you just replace one of the relays that was defective, this is definitely something you'll want to do as well. And we're just reflowing all the pins of the other relays. We're reflowing our connector pins for where the wires connect into the controller board. All right, and this was our joint that we had looked at that looked like it was tampered with, or someone had tried to fix it in the past. And I think this is actually a repair that might have been done a very long time ago, because the solder does not look factory, and I do see cracks, and cracks do not happen overnight. So it's possible it was fixed already maybe a couple years ago, and then new cracks started forming in the new joints. So what I'm gonna do actually here is we're gonna remove all of the old solder, and we're gonna just put a whole new fresh layer on. I wanna make sure I get all that old solder off. And this joint right here that I am reflowing is one of the big offenders. All right, let's get rid of all that old flux. So this joint is, just so that you're aware, we'll show you on this camera, it's this relay over here. That's the one that more commonly than not gets a cracked joint. All right, now that's a fresh new joint. Now these are some of the connector pins we were looking at that also looked like they had the beginnings of a cracked joint. So the same thing, we'll just add a little bit extra solder to all of these. All right, and then our last step is we're gonna do a clean to the entire board with some isopropyl alcohol. All right, I've put the controller board back together. Let's go ahead and put it back in the oven and make sure that everything works. I have my multimeter set to AC mode. I'm gonna put my negative lead on the bottom red pin. So that one is the L2 in, and then I'm gonna put my positive on my baking elements. We're getting 118 volts AC. Okay, we're gonna turn on our bake function to 350 degrees, come back here, and 118. It just clicked on to 235, there we go. So we have a successful repair. Our oven is turning on and working now. All right, so we have another successful repair. As promised, we have our disassembly video linked over here if you want to check that out. Otherwise, if you want to send in your controller board, we'll have links in the video description to our website where we offer flat rate services with 1-year warranties. If you have found the video helpful or useful, hit that like button down below, subscribe for more content, and thank you for watching.